So let's go to um, welcome to Southern Europe, Italy. So Italy, it is the country of South Central Europe, occupying a peninsula that juts deep into the Mediterranean Sea. And then there's a trivia. Italy is one of the Western Europe's youngest countries. So it is the Rome is over 2,000 years old and is uh, the country was under dictatorship of 20 years, and Italy last king ruled for just 36 days. And then the flag of Italy is green, white, and red. Tourists throw 1 million euro, euros into the Trevi Fountain each year. So many tourists and locals will go there. And then 13 of Shakespeare's 38 plays are set in Italy. So Italy is known to be the youngest countries. And then Pinocchio was first published in an Italian newspaper. And then Italy has more World Heritage sites than any other country. The Sistine Chapel welcomes over 20,000 visitors every day. And then the last one is the Vatican City is the world's smallest country. So the current events of Italy, the migrants and asylum seekers. So the foreigners who lie about their age to benefit from a protection scheme reserved for unaccompanied and I mean unaccompanied minors arriving in Italy. So the people will be deported under a security decree expected to be approved by Giorgia Meloni's cabinet on Wednesday. So it is a part of her far-right government's crackdown on irregular immigration because the migrants will lie their age and they will be deported to their country. So the next is discrimination and intolerance. So in July, a court sentenced two brothers to life in prison and two others to over 20 years in prison for the brutal beating to death in September 2020 of 21-year-old Willie Monteiro Duarte, a black Italian in a town on the outskirts of Rome. The men were not charged with the aggravating circumstances of racial bias. The next is poverty and inequality. The COVID-19 pandemic dramatically increased the number of people experiencing absolute poverty in Italy. So in 2021, about 5.6 million people, including nearly the third of all non-national residents, and then the estimated 22% of people living in Italy are at risk of food poverty or are food insecure. So um, the unprocessed foods increased by 8.2% between June 2021 and June 2022. So the earning is less than 35,000 euros annum, one time 200 euros stimulus payment, and then at its periodic review of Italy's record in late September, the UN Committee on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights expressed concern about the limited enjoyment. And the next is women's rights. In April, the European Court of Human Rights condemned Italy for failing to sufficiently protect a woman and her children from domestic violence, despite repeated complaints. So the woman partner stabbed their 1-year-old boy to death and gravely injured her in September 2018. The case illustrates the ongoing problems that women who experience domestic violence have obtained protection from the authorities in practice. Despite abortion being legal in Italy, and a recent survey finding 73% of Italians support access to abortion. There remain multiple barriers to abortion, including large numbers of medical professionals invoking consensus objection and lack of an enforcement requirement so that person in need of abortion, abortion be referred to another provider. The next is children's rights, and then the education ministry did not act on reports that the products it authorized for education during the pandemic surveilled or had the capacity to surveil children online outside school hours and deep into their private lives. One edtech product transmitted children's personal data to advertising technology companies, enabling these companies to track and target children across the internet. And then the next is rule of law. So in June, Parliament adopted reforms to restructure the justice system in its July European Rule of Law report. The European Commission noted that implementing legislation would need to include provisions to ensure judicial independence in line with European standards. And then the need for continuing efforts to improve efficiency and reduce notoriously lengthy proceedings. And then the last one is environment and human rights. So the parliament amended the constitution in March to include protection of the environment, biodiversity, and ecosystems as a fundamental principle and to place responsibility on private enterprise to avoid harm to health of the environment. So in July, the UN Special Rapport- Rapporteur on the implications for human rights of the environmentally sound management and disposal of the uh, hazardous substances and wastes called in Italy to take steps to protect people from exposure to toxic substances. So the map location of Italy and its latitude and longitude of Italy is 42 degrees and 50 degrees north and 12 degrees and then 50 degrees and east. Capital and known cities of Italy. So the capital of Italy is Rome, and then the known cities are Milan, Rome, Venice, Turin, Florence, Bologna, Naples, Verona, Genoa. These are the known cities of Italy. So their language is Italian. So when you go to Italy, when you say hello, you say ciao. And then the current population of Italy is 58,820,442. Italy's population is equivalent to 0.73% of the total world population. So, the time difference of Philippines and Italy. So, the Philippines time is 6 hours ahead to Italy. So, Philippines is ahead to Italy when you say 12 p.m. in the Philippines. So, uh, the Italy's time is 6 a.m. So their currency, the unit of currency in Italy and the rest of Europe is the euro and centesimo, similar to the US dollar and cent. The coins are as follows: 1 cent, 2 cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, 20 cents, 50 cents, and 1 euro and 2 euro. So the climate of the Italy with its hot, dry summers and cool, wet winters, Italy experiences a Mediterranean climate. Winters in Italy are cool and humid in the north and the mountainous zone. So Italy experiencing the hot and the dry summers, cool, wet winters. So and traveling visa of Italy. So when you go to Italy, if you're planning to visit Italy for a short stay trip up to 90 days, then so you have to apply for a Schengen short stay visa to Italy. So known also as a C-type visa. So the if you are a US citizens, and then you may enter Italy for up to 90 days for tourist or business purposes without visa. All non-residents are required to complete a declaration of presence. So the accessibility to access Italy, you have to go by plane to travel to Italy from all over the world. So Italy is wheelchair accessible. There may be challenges to users. So the Italy is eco-friendly and the users of people with mobility problems depending on the area you visit. So however, in general, Italy is so much accessible and they offers visitors a variety of wonderful activities to do during your trip. So the traveling hour it takes around from Philippines to uh, Italy. It takes around 15 hours of flying time to travel from Manila to Rome. This will differ based on the airlines and routes taken as well. So their airports, eh, are Leonardo da Vinci Airport, Milan Malpensa Airport, Lamezia Termini International Airport, and then the Florence Airport, Peretola, and then the last one is the Venice Marco Polo Airport. Their airports are so natural and so nice to see. So their airlines are Aeroitalia, Air Dolomiti, Ita Airways, Neos, and the last one is Sky Alps. And their national dish is ragu alla bolognese. Italy, commonly known around the world as spaghetti bolognese. So, in its authentic form of ragu alla bolognese, is recognized as the national dish of Italy. So many people loves to eat spaghetti in Italy. So the famous street foods in Italy, we have panzerotte. It is it is a savory turnover that originated in central and southern Italian cuisine, which resembles a small calzone both in shape and dough, used for its preparation. And then the next is paniel. They are a popular street food in Palermo and are often eaten between slices of bread or on a sesame or roll, like a sandwich. And then the next is arancini, are Italian rice balls that are stuffed coated with breadcrumbs and deep fried. They are staple of Sis- Sicilian cuisine. So it is similar to Philippine uh, meatballs like that, like bola bola is similar to us. So their dress code or national costume. So pay attention to signs indicating acceptable attire because they are um, strict when you are sexy and avoid being turned away at entrances. Both men and women are forbidden from exposing their skin, their shoulders, midriffs, or knees. Avoid wearing spaghetti straps, sleeveless tops, crop tops, shorts, or above the knee dresses, because this is also applied to some part of Italy. And then the basis of female national costume is a pleated skirt called gana, a white embroidered shirt, camiscia, and a corsage. So there are the do's and don'ts of Italy. So the do's are be conscious of how you dress. That uh like what I said earlier, be conscious of how you dress. And then remember to look after your belongings. And remember to cover your knees and shoulders because they are strict in some part of Italy. And don't try to say shall when first meeting someone because it is rude or weird to say shall in Italy. And then do not burp or fart in public because they might offend, and it is also um, considered rude to them. And then impolite to remove one's shoes in front of others. So impolite in front of others to remove your shoes because it feels like weird or uh, they might offend so easily. So re- remember that. And then their taboos, asking an Italian if they have a relative or a friend who's in the mafia. Number one, this is super rude and offensive to them because who would thought that they have relative or friend who is in the mafia? You would see or uh, hear that in the movies. And then number two, ordering a cappuccino afternoon. It's like a weird to them, like in the afternoon, because in Italy, cappuccino, it is really, it's really weird to them. So they drink it in the morning like that, and serving food in different plates. So they will notice that the plates is different. You should uh, uniform it on what's the dish is in the table. And then the next is entering a home with an open umbrella or opening it once you're inside. So it is offensive to them to open your umbrella inside their home or or uh, opening it once you're inside. It is rude to them. It's like giving a weird and offensive manner. It is rude etiquette to them. So their man-made attractions. Number one is Colosseum, Pantheon, Duomo di Milano, Leaning Tower of Pisa. This is the famous in the meme. The tower is like um it is like a tower with disruptive buildings like that or fallen buildings. So the next is Grand Canal. It is famous in the movies like I don't know. I don't remember at all. So the natural attractions are Lago di Carezza and then Lago di Garda and Dolomites Mountain Range, Cascade Cascade del Serio. So their political views, parliamentary republic and democratic republic. So their leisure activities, it is common like horse riding, paragliding, basketball, golf, hiking, surfing, and canoeing. So many people will go there to try these leisure activities in Italy because it is nice and so relaxing when you go there. So this is the last and thank you for listening. Bye.